Hey everyone, today we're going to look at distributive property and figure out what that means. Hopefully you remember it from last year. You should have learned it with Miss Hill or Miss Von Kennel. But distributive property, you are going, let me get a little pen out here. We're going to multiply. Okay, a lot of it, let's make that darker. Okay. Bear with me. All right, so remember that we are just going to multiply when we deal with distributive property. So what I mean by that is a lot of the times it's going to be like 3x plus 4. You'll see something like this with parentheses, a number on the outside of your parentheses, and that is the distributive property part, okay? You could do this in elementary. They might have given you 3 plus 4, okay, with PEMDAS. You could have added these two numbers together and then multiplied by 3. Well, a different way you could do it is if you said 3 times 3 plus whatever 3 times 4 is, 12, and then add that together, and you get your answer. Okay, so we got that it equals 21. Now, if we have a variable, so any letter, remember a variable is a letter that stands for an integer, okay, that we're looking for. So on this one, 3 parentheses x plus 4, we're going to multiply that outside number that's outside your parentheses times everything that is inside your parentheses, okay? So for this example, 3 times x is going to be 3x. And we'll bring down our plus sign. And 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. If you notice, there's no equal sign. That means it is an expression. We will have this as an answer. We can't find out what x is. We don't have an equal sign. All right, and that's it. So for the next example, maybe we have 4x minus 3. All right, we're going to multiply what's 4 times x and get 4x. Bring down our minus sign. What is 4 times 3? And you get 12. And again, we're going to leave it just like this. Can't do anything else to it. So let's go to more examples. We have -6 parentheses 8 plus x. All right, so try this one. What is -6 times 8? That negative has to go with it. So you get -48. And what is -6 times x? Okay, -6x. If you noticed, I did not bring this plus sign down. You can. Totally, you can do it. This answer is the exact same as this one. Remember, a negative sign works like a subtraction sign, okay? If I were to use multiple choice answers, you would see this as a multiple choice answer, okay? Another example. Why don't you pause your video in just a second, try to work it out, unpause, and see if you got it correct. So I'll give you a second to pause. All right, I hope you got back and solved it. Hopefully you said 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, next one. Let's try a plus 8. And on the outside of your parentheses is a 2. So previously, all of your integers have been on the left side of your parentheses. It is okay for your 2 to be over here on the right side. We're still going to multiply. If you want, you can multiply starting here. You can multiply over here. A times 2 is 2a. 8 times 2 is 16. Same process. Your number just happens to be on the left side of the parentheses or the right side of the parentheses. The key is it's still on the outside of your parentheses, and that's distributive property. So I'll show you another example. You have parentheses, W minus 7, and 3 is on your outside of your parentheses. So multiply. What is 3 times W? What is 3 times 7? Okay, bring down that minus sign. Check one thing real quick. Okay, let's do one more example. So I'm going to write this down. You pause the video after you write it down, give it a try, and come back and see if you got it right. Okay, let's check your answer. Hopefully you paused it and you worked the problem. Negative 6 times k is negative 6k. Negative 6 times 3. Okay, notice I bring this subtraction sign down. Negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. We have two negatives, or like a subtraction sign and a negative. We can bring this. Nobody is going to have an answer choice that looks like this. You will have this as your answer choice. Now, if you want to start the problem again and read it a little differently, let me use my different color pen. I have negative 6 times k, which we would still get this part. And you can say it like these two belong together. So negative 6 times negative 3. And a negative 6 times negative 3 gives you a positive 18. And looky here, we get a plus sign. Okay. So it's a different way you can look at it. All right, so this was part 1 of distributive property. Go in and finish those practice problems and the checkup, which is basically a Schoology quiz, okay? And come back for part 2 tomorrow.